Hello, and welcome back to another devlog for Year Unknown, a story-based game set in the very far future. First things first, I made a Discord server for this game. I'll be posting more frequent updates there, and I plan to use it to find playtesters, so if any of that sounds interesting, go ahead and join. Anyway, onto the devlog. Year Unknown has a lot of text. It's almost the entire game, so it's important that people can be engaged by it. But writing is hard, and to make matters worse, all the text in my game is dialogue. Conveying emotion just through text is already really hard, but with prose, at least you can just say what a character is feeling, or how something was said. Dialogue on its own can't convey any of this, unless you make things annoyingly obvious. If you ever gotten a text from a friend and not known if they were being serious or not, you probably know what I mean. What a lot of games do to help this is add character portraits. These can show different expressions and poses for different characters, and can change depending on what they're currently saying. It's a great way to act out a scene if you don't have the budget for fully animated cutscenes. I've been thinking about adding these for a while, and now I've finally gone ahead and implemented it. For the design, I'm going with something simple for now. A circle is about as minimalistic as I can go while still being able to convey different expressions. To get it to work, I could just create animations, but then I'd have to manually make animations from every single expression to every other expression, not to mention the complexity of handling all those transitions. Instead, I can do everything algorithmically. Fortunately, I'm using Godot, which has built-in tools for Bezier curves. It's easy to represent a circle with a Bezier curve using 4 control points, or rather 5 in this case to close the shape. Moving each control point can give us a lot of control. For example, moving the lower control point up can make it look happy. Moving the top one down can make it look angry. We can even move the tangents to show an even wider variety of expressions. I can store an array of Bezier curves for each expression I need. The index matches an enum specified in my dialogue manager. There are 2 other curves we need to keep track of. One is the current curve, which is what's currently displayed to the player. The second is the target curve, or in other words, what we're trying to animate towards. Then each frame, I loop through each position on the true curve, and lerp their positions to the positions on the target curve. This lerp every frame is a handy trick I use a lot. Basically, if I set the lerp to something like 0.5, it will go to the midpoint each frame. Since the start position is being updated, the midpoint updates each frame as well. This results in a smooth damping as it approaches the target position. And because of its simplicity, it doesn't really matter what the target is set to. Even if it's midway through a transition and the expression changes, it just carries on and smoothly transitions to that new target. So far everything is working, but we can't actually see anything yet. The Bezier curve is being updated, but that's just a data type. It's visible in the editor, but not in-game. Again though, Godot is a good game engine, so there's a nice solution to this. There's a polygon 2D node that can render a series of points as a closed polygon. Godot has a function to make the Bezier curve into a series of points, and another function to set the points of a polygon 2D node. And both of these use the same data type for the point array. This means all I have to do is set the polygon 2D's points to the Bezier curve's points, and we're done. I connected this up to my dialogue system, and it worked. Each expression could smoothly transition to any other expression. It was a bit bland though, so I added some idle animations on top of everything. To do this, I just changed the position of the polygon 2D with Godot's animation system. I could do this since the animations using the Bezier curve was all in the points. The actual transformation of the node was left alone. My only concern is performance, since I'm rebaking the Bezier curve each frame, but unlike my terminal screens, these won't be active until you actually interact with the terminal. So I only actually have one of these and set it to display at whatever terminal the player is using. It might still be a performance loss, but I can't notice a difference. In the end, this ended up being a really good change. It adds a lot of liveliness to the characters that I felt was missing before. Plus, it's pretty easy to use. I just have to select the expression I want for each chunk of dialogue. And with that, we reached the end of the devlog. Again, if you're interested in the game, join the Discord server or just subscribe to the channel, although I can't promise everything will be related to this. But I don't know how to end the video.